All right, people, here we go. It's another day. It's another dollar. It's another NBA slate. Small but effective here tonight. And we've got you covered on the NBA Tip-Off Show. It is powered by WagerTalk.com. And the esteemed panel just keeps growing. But, yes, Tony Finn is still here. But we are joined by Mr. Marco in Vegas. There, Marco D'Angelo at Marco in Vegas. Don't forget WagerTalk.com. You can get Tony. You can get Marco. And the guy on the lower ring here again, Mr. Ski Profit, crushing it again last night, 3-0 with his plays, of course, to his clients at Wager Talk. Not to mention here on the show, crushing it, giving out all sorts of fantastic plays that he keeps winning money from Tony on side bets. Rob Vino joining us, SportsMemo.com. And we got 3 games, guys. We got 3 actually very interesting games tonight. Could very well be some value on the board. We'll talk about those, but let me also tell you that last night, shall we say, maybe more impressive. Marco, I'll start with you. More impressive, the first time that you got to see Zion Williams in New Orleans, or the fact the Knicks covered?
Well, anytime the Knicks cover is a monumental event, but all of the hype with Zion, and I'm, sure you guys talked about it yesterday. Yes, the hype train's going to start, and yes, the Pelicans have been playing great basketball. But now you got to go back to square one, because you got to integrate him into that lineup, and everybody's got to change their roles. And I think there's going to be a little bit of some growing pains over the next week and a half till they get everything figured out on the rotations and who's doing what. So that was a play I didn't get involved in yesterday, but we talked about it in studio, and definitely looking to fade the Pelicans for the next couple games.
Yeah, it's once he gets into shape, it looked like he was sucking wind a little bit there, but he found his stroke. They let him have the top of the key. We'll see if that the bottom line is he's got more three-point shots than Simmons does in his career, so that's a good start right there. But it was, all in all, it was a pretty impressive night, guys. I got to tell you, even some of the games that went off, Houston finally won a game at home, beating Denver. We talked about that. Even the Clippers without anybody, Ski. I'm fairly certain they were pulling people out of the stands in order to play, and it really didn't make a difference after all. But they covered, and they did what they had to do.
And like you said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it on that first half. But we don't know how long it'll last, like you said. So
if it ain't broke,
that we cash.
That's right.
Let's move on.
Clippers, first half, baby. Your Lakers, though, last night, they're on the card here tonight, Ski. And I'm going to guess your Lakers because you're wearing a Laker jersey here. What a shock. But listen, 100-92, they did what they did to get away. I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, AD is questionable. He pulled up with some sort of ass strain again, they're saying now. Chances that he goes tonight, what are you feeling?
I honestly think he's going to sit. It says like 50%, but I think he's not going to play.
Tony Finn, do you have any imaginary friends that you've talked to that have said otherwise?
I have not.
Okay.
I agree that it's supposedly a true game time decision if there's such a thing in LA.
Takeaways from last night, Rob. What was a game that you watched that you were pretty impressed with, because you had a pretty good day as well?
Yeah, pretty good is right. We had 6-0 yesterday. 4 in the NBA, 2 in the colleges. Had
nice.
That Nevada, Las Vegas total over home last night, but wound up sweeping. I'll tell you what I was impressed with, Joe, was the Toronto late third, fourth quarter surge against Philadelphia. Philadelphia had control of that game for most of the way, and up steps Fred VanVleet, and next thing we know, Toronto's pulling away. Philly came back a little bit. Toronto pulled away again. So, thought Philadelphia without Embiid probably in a little bit of a tough situation against that size and that amount of depth. And then where the Zion situation was concerned, real quick, I think Alvin Gentry might have figured stuff out pretty quick. At least one thing where he can now save some of Derek Favors' minutes, because he went to Zion as the 5 during that 17.3-minute stretch. And if you can save Derek Favors a little bit, and you have Jackson Hayes to run in there, that little 3-man group to cover all those minutes at the 5 position, New Orleans could be tough to handle. We'll see how it goes. To Marco's point earlier, It's going to take a little time to integrate everything, but I think they've got options right now as far as the bigs are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and it was a great call, though. Everyone was all over Toronto there. Also, I think it was unanimous on Washington getting double digits there. Ski and Tony, you guys especially, it was way too many points for the – and what a shock. Miami went to overtime, and Marco, what a shock. Miami wins another game in overtime, but we talk about if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That shit's about to be broke. Like, that can't keep going on, Marco. Miami can't keep winning games like that.
Miami, to me, is the biggest surprise in the NBA this season. I did not see this coming, and again, Jimmy Butler, we've talked about it before. He's been a head case at different places he's been. But he's running the show down there, Joe. I mean, you used to run the show in Miami, but now it's Jimmy Butler's town, so
different.
You had to take a back seat. So sorry about that.
Yeah. No, it sucks. It really does. But I didn't have Tyler Hero. I didn't have Kendrick Nunn coming out of nowhere. And it's amazing what happens once you get rid of Hassan Whiteside. Amazing. Now if they can only get rid of Deion Waiters, they'll be good to go. But Pat is trying to do that. But there is a game. We'll start right there, guys, with a team that did play last night in that game, the Washington Wizards. Tough. Listen, they did everything they could. Bradley Beal did everything he could, throwing the kitchen sink at them. Now, of course, their pay is hop on a plane late last night in Miami and head to Cleveland to take on a pretty well-rested Cleveland team. And now the Cavs are at home. The line opened up at 1. It's moved to 2.5. The total hovering around that 230 mark. So, Marco, I'll start with you, man. It's a tough spot for the Wizards here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. There's not a worse spot in the world to go from South Beach to Cleveland. Come on. I mean, that's about as bad as it gets.
Quality.
You look at that, but, I wish this game wasn't the back-to-back, because I know it's an advantage, taking Cleveland with the back-to-back, but it's built into the line as well. Vegas is making you spend a little extra on the Cleveland side. I wish there was a day off in between here, because people would look and see that great game against Miami last night and said, as good as Miami's played at home, look what Washington almost pulled off. Now they're going to play a Cleveland team that's, garbage. They should be able to get a win there. I'm not buying that, and I'm looking at this Cleveland game. And this is one of the favorite angles I have with Cleveland. They returned home off of a 6-game road trip. And what did they do? It is, I say so often, teams off those long road trips, that first game back at home, they're going to, excuse me for lack of a better term, more often than not shit the bed. And, man, they really soiled the bed against the Knicks. You lose by 20. So you're going to get a great effort out of Cleveland tonight. I don't want to say great effort. Let's say a focused effort, because I don't know if they have a great effort in them. But you look at Washington over the last 2 seasons. This is a stat that just sticks out like a sore thumb with Washington. 1 in 10 against the spread on the road after a game that they allowed 130 points or more.
Wow.
That's where they're at tonight. I can't back Washington. It's Cleveland or nothing for me. Small lean to Cleveland. I got them. My numbers have them winning by 4.
Yeah, I can tell you, it's just an impossible spot there. Tony, Finn, I mean, is it the kind of the same thing, Finn? Is it? Is Beal going to go, or is he going to come up with a groin injury? Because the guy did everything he could last night and just couldn't get him over the top.
He's not listed. When I looked at this game last night, even my lean was to go to Cleveland, especially with Coach B making supposedly shortening his bench. But I backed off a lot of the reasons for what Marco just described and outlined. I would lean the over on this game. I still believe that B is going to shorten that bench and give the five first rotation guys most of the minutes. And in that case, against a team like Washington who plays zero defense, I can find some value in this 231.
You like that? Okay, so you're leaning over in that zero defense we're expecting there. So, Ski, talk to me, man. It's been a hell no a lot of times this year for the Cleveland Cavs for you, brother. What are you doing here tonight, man?
Hey, Joe, I don't know if you see the YouTube. You on the YouTube comments?
Oh no, what do I got? Let me look on there.
Go look on there. You might want to read something on there. But
okay. All right, go ahead.
On this Washington and Cleveland game, I kind of disagree a little bit with Marco. And the thing that I disagree is I like that Washington played yesterday. The thing I don't like is that it went to overtime. Because Washington on the back-to-back, they've been good this year. They're 4-1 against the spread. They've been getting guys back. They're not the thin Washington team anymore. Cleveland, it's a hell no for me laying points. I'm not laying anything with Cleveland. 0-3 is a home favorite. I'm never looking to lay any points with the Cavaliers. So it will be Washington or pass for me, even with the overtime. Their offense has been better. Defense has been better. Cleveland has the worst defense in the league over the last 5 games. So I look towards Washington as a side, but I think I like the total even a little more. The over is 4-1 on the second of a back-to-back. This went over 7 of the last 8 meetings. And I have an angle, too, on this one. When the Wizards played their last game on the road, and they're on the road again with no rest, total greater than 208, the over is 14-0.
That sounds like a QRSTUVWXYZ stat. Is that am I close with that, Ski? Is that what you got? You're working on some sort of school. Very good, man. I love that he pulled that out there. Rob Vino, you got a break. We got 2 for Cleveland. We got 1 for the over, leaning Cleveland, and now we've got a Washington. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, it's hard to trust Cleveland in any situation, especially as the price goes up, Joe. As we sit here now, I think they're up to -3. Obviously, the back-to-back situation doesn't favor the Wizards, except for the fact that they've been good on back-to-backs, like Ski just pointed out. And, out of that 4-1, 3-1 is on the road. So they haven't had any problem back-to-back with travel. You got 2 defenses, though, Joe, that have, in the 4 of their last 5 games, each of these teams has allowed 50% from the field or better, which would lead me straight to over 230. As Ski pointed out, Washington is deeper now. They used 10 guys last night, 16 minutes or more. So they've got options off the bench here. Cleveland's off a bad shooting night against the Knicks the other day. So I think they bounced back a little bit against this ragged Washington defense. If I had to, I'd be over the price here. A little bit surprised it's coming down the way it is.
Interesting. Yeah, no, money keeps flowing in there. It's everyone's aware of the back-to-back and the overtime. So a couple of nays on that, though. It's looks like consensus to the over here, guys, in that Washington-Cleveland game. We'll move on to game number 2, which, of course, Ski is representing here tonight as the Lakers also on their back end of a back-to-back there. Knicks last night. It's been a rough schedule for them altogether. It's a lot of games. This started in Houston. It went to Boston. It was in the Garden last night. Now it's going to Brooklyn. It'll end up in Philadelphia here over the weekend. So it's a lot of games, Ski. We talked about it. AD coming out as questionable. Probably, maybe, won't see him tonight. But either way, 6 points here is what this opened up with. 229.5 in this spot for a total. Seems like a lot of points to me for both of these teams, especially since Kyrie's going to be the only one shooting.
It does seem like a lot of points. I think we had a little bit of movement maybe on the spread, but the Lakers, they're good on the back-to-back. 4-1 against the spread on the second of a back-to-back. And Brooklyn hasn't been playing well. They've covered 2 out of their last 13 games. The thing is, when I look at the last 5 game stats, their defense has been better than the Lakers, and they've been rebounding better than the Lakers. So it's kind of tough. On the full game, I probably would lean towards taking the points. I know Kyrie will get up for this game. I think LeBron should too. But then again, you never can trust LeBron. So I would probably go with the total. And I think both of these teams want to play fast pace. I think there's plenty of offense to be had on national TV. This went over 6 of the last 7 games for the Lakers, so I'll probably go with the over. And if I had to play the side, you know where I'm going.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous of me even to ask there. Tony Finn, talk to me, man. Where are you leaning over here? Is there a sawbuck somewhere around here? I'm feeling a sawbuck coming up.
It could be. Let's see if he agrees or disagrees with me. But Brooklyn's 13-13 without Kyrie, right? They were 13-13 without Kyrie. With Kyrie, they haven't been any better than that. But here's the deal: you get the Lakers. Ski's accurate saying, well, I think LeBron he'll be focused for a couple minutes, until the crowd starts giving him trouble. But they're playing the 4th game in 6 nights, second leg of a back-to-back. We all of us know that Brooklyn's going to give their best effort. Mm-hmm. And that number that Ski just mentioned, the opening 6 down to a 5, it is some sharp running, but it's probably really more indicative of what's going to happen with Davis. Do you not agree? I think Davis is out, and if you're going to play this game, you take the home team and the points here.
I love that. And by the way, Tony, a big shout out to William in the chat room says, I know who Tony Finn is taking to win tonight's Lakers-Nets game. He's taking the Jazz, baby. He's going Utah. That's exactly who he's going. Well done, William. Well done there, guys. And big shout out to Mark, David, all you guys hanging out in the chat room. Welcome in. It is Lakers. It is Nets. It has been a rough go here. I mean, it's just it's a tough road schedule here, Marco, for the Lakers. And of course, they still got Philadelphia to go through here over the weekend. So, do you like them in this spot, or do you think maybe a little tired legs in the second half here?
Yeah, it's a bad spot to take the Lakers. I can't pull the trigger on them. I really don't trust Brooklyn. This is a team, as Ski pointed out, not playing good basketball at all, but 3 games in 4 nights, playing, New York last night, hanging around. It's a short trip to play Brooklyn. Then the big game is Saturday night. I know this game's on TV tonight, but the big game is Saturday. That's going to be prime time, ABC, Saturday night. They got all of the attention. That's where you'll see the Lakers bring their A game. 2 stats to throw out there to you, and it's typical Lakers. This is a team, when they're playing their 3rd road game in 5 days or less over the last 2 seasons, just 2-12 against the spread. And when they're playing a non-conference game, they don't always bring that A game, and that goes again to a lot of what we see with teams playing on the road, playing back-to-back games. That's when you're going to sit stars if you're going to do it. They're just 15-31 against the spread going back to the start of last year. So the numbers for me say you play Brooklyn or you don't. Brooklyn's not a team that's on my buy list right now, so it's probably a pass for me, but I can't lay the points with the Lakers, that's for sure.
Talk to me, Rob Vino. Where are you leaning in this matchup, man? I just something tells me this is a lot of points here for a team that can't score versus a team that's going on 4 games here in 5 days and still got Philly around the corner.
Yeah, well, I talked yesterday or the day before a little bit. I think it was yesterday about the fundamental aspect with the Nets. They're just not going to be able to defend big teams. Philly, I think, was the team I was referring to. We go back to the Philly playoff series last year where the Nets are little, Philly's big, Philly wins. The Lakers are just as big as Philadelphia, especially if AD plays here. So Nets defensively, I would worry about in this game. I think the Lakers have a lot of opportunity to score points. What would make me happy about the Nets is they played the 76ers the other day, albeit without Joel Embiid, and they shoot 48% from the floor. If these guards get hot, and Irving didn't play in that game. Now, I had said last week that with Irving back, I would be on a Nets over train because Kyrie adds to the offense and subtracts from the defense, and I don't have any reason to go against that here. I think we're staring at 229 as far as the total is concerned with the Lakers, as Ski pointed out, being 6-1 to the over in the last 7, with the Nets allowing better than 50% shooting in 3 of their last 4. Certainly Kyrie involved in those 3 games. Rather than the side, I'd rather play total here. Brooklyn's given up 117 points in 4 straight games or more. So, for me, it's going to have to be over in this game. I don't know which way I'd lean with the side.
Interesting enough, too. I'll just throw a number out there just to confuse the crap out of all you right now. How does 14-2 to the under sound the last 16 games played in this building in Brooklyn? 14-2 to the under there. And we've heard this a million times from people here about the Barclays, something to do with the lighting and everything else. It just, it's a little strange. And remember that, too, by the way, when March Madness and tournament time come around. So we've got kind of split here on those plays. I know where you're going, Ski. Opportunities galore, though, all not only just today, guys, but, of course, all weekend long. You heard from Rob there, sportsmemo.com. Plays today. It's a monster weekend. NBA college hoops coming up. 3 games tonight, but you're going to get a loaded card here over the next couple of days. Sportsmemo.com, WagerTalk.com. You get Tony, you get Marco, you get Ski. Ski right now, Ski69, SKEE69 gets you an entire week's worth of plays from Ski. Get every play, never miss a play for $69, normally $119. Go there right now. Use Ski69 at checkout. We got one game left here, guys, here tonight on the card, and another interesting one. As the Mavs, who just had a rough game a couple of nights ago against the Clippers, now they're heading on the road. Listen, they've had some success on the road here this year. Porzingis back, Doncic. They're heading to Portland to take on the Trailblazers. It keeps moving up. It was a 2-point thing. I'm seeing now 4s in some places. The total 2 hovering around that 230 mark at this point. And Tony, I'll start with you. Mavs on the road. You more comfortable with them on the road in this spot, laying points?
I'm more comfortable with the Mavs on the road in any spot, for that matter. Typically, especially if they're playing less thans, you just don't have to lay the number you have to do if they're at home at American Airlines. So, with that said, the last time these two, I think they were 7 or 8 point. I think the Mavs are 7 or 8 point favorites, and they covered it barely. I think they won by 8 or 9. Whatever the number was, they covered it, and that was with the best you're going to get from Portland, which is not going to be tonight. With and I'm going to assume anyone's heard anything different from me. CJ's not going to play again tonight. That's what I'm hearing. I think the list was questionable.
Questionable, yep.
Yeah, but my intel says he's not playing now. That doesn't mean I'm correct. But in that situation, I'd be all over Dallas. I think Lucas scored almost 40 their first game, and their guards really they have no answer for him. So it's really how the rest of the Mavericks perform. What's in you guys' world? What's Powell worth? Since he's out for the season, Dwight Powell gone for the season, right? What was he worth to you in that lineup?
Well, I think he's worth a lot, Tone. I mean, there's a reason why Rick Carlisle calls him his favorite player on the team.
Absolutely.
I haven't made that much adjustment to that yet, but I was curious. I'm glad that you shared that with me. Share that with everyone.
So was there a play there, or we just?
Oh no,
I'm
just saying. I'm on Dallas.
Sure. Yeah, you
go.
Dallas.
If you were in the starting line tonight, Joe, I'm on Dallas.
You're still
Joe's
going.
not
Dallas.
letting you get away with no play. Come on, Tony.
Well, I'd be fouled out in 3 minutes. I'd just run into people and fall down. I'd be flopping central. Marco, talk to me here, man. You flopping in this game? Are you anybody? You going to back Portland here? What do you think, man? Home team. Lillard just dropped 61. I mean, come on, give the guy some love.
Now I'm on Dallas in this one. Couple reasons here. First off, the injury to Powell. Obviously, long term that's going to hurt them, but short term, you know me, situational wise, this kicks in injured player theory. First game without a player injury, you're going to get an over adjustment in the line. Rest of the team plays a little bit more intense to pick up the slack. I think they'll be fine for tonight. We'll see what happens moving forward. Also, look at a couple situational spots. You had Portland come off that game the other night against Golden State. High-scoring game, 129 to 124. And we look and we find that Portland just 1-11 against the spread over this season after a game in which 235 points or more were scored. So we got a big negative against Portland tonight. And as you alluded to, the Dallas Mavericks on the road have been just sensational. 15-4 against the spread. And, to use you guys' favorite saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
I'm on Dallas. I'll lay the points on the road with them tonight at Portland.
Yeah, and listen, it totally makes sense. Ski, I mean, really, is it are we going for a clean sweep here, man? Dallas or nothing for you?
Well, I'm happy I get to go after Marco this time because I completely agree with everything he says, and I don't have to repeat it. Yeah. So the Blazers, I will say, they're 0-4 as a home dog already, so just getting points, it's not really attractive to me. They've covered 1 out of their last 7 games. The last time these two teams played, as Tony Finn said, they got smoked. And on the first half, I think they were down double digits, maybe even close to 20. So I like Dallas. First half even, Dallas is the best first half team in the league. Portland is second worst. So give me the -1.5. That's what I got in at.
Yep.
And another little angle, Marco gave you one to go against Portland. I'll give you one for on the Mavericks. Mavericks, the last game, it's very simple. Their last game was at the house, and they're on the road. 16-0 against the spread, last 16.
Love it. Love it.
Good
it.
angle.
Yep, that's a great angle there. Talk to me, Rob. When are you going to make clean sweep here, man? No?
Yeah, there's so much going on in this game, Joe. Honest to God, it really is. They played last Friday. Tony pointed out the game. But last Friday, C.J. McCollum got hurt in this game.
Right.
He left in the first quarter. And at that point in time, you think that it's doom and gloom for the Portland Trail Blazers. And they fought Dallas tooth and nail in Dallas, 120-112. They lose. Since McCollum's gone down, they've lost every game against the spread, 0-3, but not without a fight. They fought pretty hard in all three of those games. Talked about Damian Lillard. That night he threw in 34, comes back with 61. In between, they played Oklahoma City pretty good. The Dwight Powell injury. Dwight Powell gets hurt the other night against the Clippers, first quarter. Fundamentally, just basketball X's and O's wise, Luka Doncic and Dwight Powell being the only real center on that team, they run pick and roll very, very well. The chemistry between those two guys, and Luka commented on it, he's going to have to find some other way now. And I think you saw that in the Clipper game the other night. He was worn and beaten by the end of that game because he just doesn't get anything easy now without Powell, his pick and roll partner. And there's probably a reason why they're talking about picking up Dwight Howard. Or not Dwight Howard, Andre Drummond today. So fundamentally, there's a lot of messed up things here with the offenses in this game. I probably lean to the under a little bit here. I think it's going to take time for Luka to adjust with no center. I guess Maxi Kleber goes there. I really don't know who plays center for this team, but give me a little piece of the under in that game.
Maxi, Porzingis, Boban.
Well, they got some. They got some options there.
This Portland, we on this show, you guys, we have referenced the Portland bench as being maybe one of the weakest, softest benches in the league, along with Houston. But this Portland team ended up, not that Baseman pitched in a lot, but he was one of the pieces on this bench, and they trade him. And now they're short McCollum. The reason how Lillard put up 61 is let's give him his kudos for that. But you saw this team as Rick said. They tire. They tire in the first half and in the fourth quarter. One of the reasons Dallas covered last week was because they were just beat down. They fought really hard.
Right.
But they're just tired at that point in time. Lillard's getting too many minutes, and we're not even at the All-Star break yet.
Yeah, no,
you know what, Tony? Real quick, to your point, is you're substituting Trevor Ariza in now for Ken Bazemore, and how long it takes Ariza to get integrated into that team. Another mess up in offensive chemistry. And a good defensive player. So we'll see.
Yep. I like the first half. I like the under angle there, too, as well. So, all right, guys, we got a limited card here tonight. Those of you joining us in the chat room, welcome in once again to Jose, Brad, James, Hustle Wilson in here, Devin Smith, Shedrick. Thank you guys very much. Time to make it a profitable night. So let's do our best bets. We'll go around the horn. We will start with you, Tony Finn, my friend of this limited card. What's your favorite bet tonight?
Let's go over Cleveland, Washington. I think there's value in that 2-3-1.
Let's go. He's going over in that game. How about it, Marco? Where are you going? Best bet tonight?
I'm going with the Mavs. I'm going to lay the points in Portland tonight. Take Dallas.
Bam. Let's go. How about it, Ski? Where are you going, brother man?
I'll double dip on that game. I'll take the first half with the Mavs. Fade Portland first half, play on Dallas on the first half.
Oh, it is a Portland bashing. I love it. Come on, Rob Vino. Where are we going, my man?
A Portland bashing. I'm going to side with my good friend next to you up there, Joe, Tony Finn, and play Cleveland, Washington over the total. I just think a lot of things add up to that game being a point-productive game. So we'll play over that number.
All right. Well, shits and giggles time here, guys. And I got to tell you, I'm not buying Washington. I'm going Cleveland on the money line, and I am taking the under in that Lakers Brooklyn game. I think that 14-2 trend in Brooklyn, I think that continues here tonight. I don't think we get evenwhere close. This definitely does sound like what somebody in the chat room said, an active night off for LeBron James. He'll be active, but his ass will be off for most of this game over here. And
what if Jay-Z's in the front row?
Yeah, he'll be doing a whole lot of other things. They'll bring it against Philadelphia. I don't think they care. Plus, Kyrie is going to do his best James Harden tonight and just chuck it up from everywhere.
Did you say breast, James?
Breast.
Breast and best. That's correct. Yeah, very good there. Tony Finn,
Yes?
Marco D'Angelo. I wasn't talking to you. I was just referencing you. Tony Finn likes the Jazz. Just go with the Jazz. You can't go wrong. Marco in Vegas, Marco D'Angelo, Wager Talk guys, as well as Ski Profit there. $69 for Ski right now. Ski 69 at checkout. Get 7 days. All his plays right now. Do it. I know you want to do it. Do it. What are you waiting for? Just get to WagerTalk.com and Rob Vino all over it. Coming off a 6-0 night last night. 4 in the NBA, 2 in college. Sportsmemo.com is where you go. So, gentlemen, always a pleasure. Limited card, but it's going to be one hell of a next 48 hours. Of course, NBA and college hoops and everything else. Don't forget the Pro Bowl. I'm just throwing it out there. Don't forget the damn Pro Bowl.
Ski,
Take the
are you going
dog.
to give me 6? Give me 6 in Brooklyn for that Sawbuck you owe me.
What is it right now?
It's 5. Okay, I'll take 5.
All right.
It's Brooklyn, for God's sake. That should get 5.
Hey,
Take
I'm
a
not,
5?
I'm not voting on the Lakers, damn it.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
I'll take
yeah.
5.
Yeah.
5 in Brooklyn. You got it.
5 and LeBron will stub his toe in probably the second, and he'll be limited in the second half. So
Oh, we want him in there.
When he has his active night off, I'll
that's
have a heart
active
attack.
night off. It's coming, man. All right, guys. Again, thank you very much. Make sure that you like this page here on Wager Talk. Hit that little bell in the upper right-hand corner. Never miss a live episode. Marco, Tony, Ski, Rob, guys, thanks for the time. Good luck with your plays. We'll do this again tomorrow. Thanks, fellas. Be good, guys.
Good. Have a good night, guys. Go.
Peace.
Go, go,
Been
go.
a pleasure, Joe.
Go Jazz.